Hello students, I hope you all are fine and healthy. In our previous lecture, we have revised the chapter number first, that is matter in our surroundings. So in our today's lecture, we will revise chapter number 2, is matter around us pure. So in the chapter number first, we have classified the matter on the basis of their physical properties. So on the basis of physical properties, we can classify the matter into three main types, that are solids, liquids and gases. Now in this chapter, we will classify the matter on the basis of their chemical properties or chemical composition. So on the basis of their chemical properties, the matter can be classified as pure substances or impure substances. Impure substances are also known as mixtures. So all the matters can be classified as pure substances or impure substances. Now these impure substances are also known as mixtures. So all the matter that is around us, they are either pure substances or impure substances that are also known as mixtures, like the milk, tea, coffee, petroleum, LPG. They all are impure substances. They are not pure. So do you remember what are the pure substances? Yes, pure substances means those substances which are made up of only one type of particles. The pure substances are made up of only one type of particles. Now, these particles can be either atoms or molecules. These particles can be either atoms or molecules. So we can also define the pure substances as they are the substances which are made up of only same type of atoms or the same type of molecules. Like if we say oxygen gas, so the oxygen gas is made up of oxygen molecules. So oxygen gas is a pure substance. Like similarly, if we say hydrogen gas, so the hydrogen gas is also made up of hydrogen molecules only. So it is also a pure substance. Similarly, if we say iron, so iron is a metal and it is made up of the iron atoms. It is made up of the particles that are known as iron atoms. So it is also a pure substance. Now, do you remember what are mixtures or impure substances? Yes, impure substances or mixtures are those substances which contains particles of more than one type, and these particles are not chemically combined with each other. So impure substances or mixtures, they contain particles of two or more types. Two or more types. Or we can also say that the impure substances contain two or more type of atoms or molecules. They contain two or more type of atoms or molecules, and these atoms or molecules, they are not chemically combined with each other. Like for example, the LPG gas, it is a mixture of many gases. Similarly, if we say air, air is also a mixture of many gases like hydrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide. So it is also not a pure substance because it is made up of more than one type of particles. So all the matters can be classified into two types. So matter can be classified into two types, that are pure substances and impure substances. Impure substances, or we can also say the mixtures. Now pure substances, they are made up of only one type of particles, whereas the impure substances, they are made up of two or more type of particles that are mixed together. Now the pure substances can again be classified into two types, that are elements and compounds. So they can be classified into two types, that are elements and compounds. Now the mixtures can also be classified into two types, that are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. So mixtures or the impure substances, they are also of two types, that are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. And heterogeneous mixtures. Now, do you remember what are the elements and compounds? Yes, elements are those substances which cannot be broken down or which cannot be split into two or more simpler substances by using the chemical reactions or the chemical methods such as heat, light and electricity. So they are the substances which can't be broken down, into two or more simple substances, two or more simpler substances. Like if we take hydrogen gas, so if we will try to break it or we will try to split it, so we will get hydrogen only, we can't split it further. Similarly, if we will take oxygen and we will try to split it or we will try to break it, it can't be broken into two or more substances. Similarly, if we take iron, copper, silver, gold, aluminium, they also cannot be broken down into more simple substances. So they are also elements. Now compounds means those substances which are made up of two or more elements combined together chemically. Means the compounds are made up of two or more elements, that are chemically combined with each other, and when the elements combine together each other chemically, so they do it in a fixed proportion, or we can say they do it in a fixed ratio by their mass, that we have read in the law of constant proportion. Now, do you remember what are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures? Homogeneous mixtures are those mixtures which are completely, or we can say which are properly mixed with each other, and the particles of a homogeneous mixtures, they can't be distinguished from each other. So they are made up of two or more substances mixed together and their particles can't be distinguished. But the particles of a mixture, they are not chemically combined. All the homogeneous mixtures, they are also known as solutions. We also call them solutions. Like air, we can't distinguish between the particles of hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Can we do? No, we can't distinguish between their particles and they are properly mixed with each other. So air is a homogeneous mixture. Similarly, if we will dissolve sugar or salt in water, so we will get sugar solution if we will dissolve sugar, and if we will dissolve salt, then we will get the salt solution. So the particles in both the sugar solution and the salt solution, they are properly mixed with each other and the particles cannot be distinguished with each other. So the sugar solution and the salt solution, they are also homogeneous mixtures. Now heterogeneous mixtures are those mixtures in which the particles do not get mixed properly and the one substance spread through the other substance. Like if we take sugar and sand and we try to mix them, so they will not get mixed properly. So that kind of mixture is known as the heterogeneous mixture. Similarly, if we mix some stones in the sand, so those stones will also not get mixed properly in the sand. So that is also a heterogeneous mixtures. Now the homogeneous mixtures are having uniform composition. They are having uniform composition. Whereas the heterogeneous mixtures, they are having non-uniform composition. They are having non-uniform composition. Okay. Do you remember what is the meaning of uniform composition and non-uniform composition? Uniform composition means the mixture will be uniform, means from wherever we will take the sample from the mixture, whatever part of the mixture we will take, so it will have the same number of particles of all the types. Like if we try to taste a sugar solution, so sugar solution tastes everywhere the same, whether we take the sample from the top of the sugar solution or from the bottom of the sugar solution. But if we take heterogeneous mixture, so in some of the cases one particle can be more and other cases the other particles can be more. Like if we mix sand and stones, so somewhere the stones can be more and in the other parts the sand can be more. So that type of composition is known as non-uniform. The elements that are a type of pure substances, they can again be classified into three types, that are metals, non-metals and metalloids. So elements can again be classified into three types, that are metals, non-metals and metalloids. Elements means those substances which cannot be divided into two or more simple substances either by using the heat, light or electricity. Now metals are the elements which are malleable, ductile, conducts the electricity, they are sonorous and they are hard. So metals are those elements which are malleable, ductile and good conductor of electricity. They are the good conductor of electricity. They are sonorous they are sonorous and they are mostly hard, and the metals are generally gray in color. They are generally gray, or we can say they are having a silver like color. Now there is an exception, the copper. Copper is having brownish color, but most of the metal are gray in color. Now do you remember what is malleable? The substances which we can beat with the help of hammer and they can be converted into thin sheets. So that are known as malleable substances. Now ductile means those substances which can be drawn into a thin wire, means we can make thin wires from those substances. They are known as ductile. Now sonorous means those substances which when beaten they produce a ringing sound, like a bell produces a ringing sound. So similarly, when the sonorous substances are beaten with a hard thing, so they produces a ringing sound. Now the non-metals. Non-metals are the substances which are neither malleable nor ductile, and they are the bad conductors of electricity. So non-metals are the substances that are non-malleable, non-ductile, and they are bad conductors of electricity. Bad conductors of electricity. But there is an exception in the non-metals, that is graphite. Do you know where the graphite is used? We use it most commonly. Yes, the pencil that we use to write, that contains graphite. The lead of our pencil, it is made up of graphite. So graphite is a form of carbon, and carbon is a non-metal, but the graphite can easily conduct the electricity. Now the non-metals are non-sonorous, means when the non-metals are beaten they do not produce a ringing sound. So the non-metals are non-malleable. It means we can't beat the non-metals into thin sheets. The non-metals are brittle. The non-metals are brittle. Brittle means whenever we hit them with a hard substance, so they get broken. They broke into pieces. Now the non-metals are non-ductile, means we cannot make thin wires from the non-metals, and they are bad conductor of electricity, and they don't produce a ringing sound, and they are brittle. Whenever they are hit with a hard thing, so they get broken into pieces. Now metalloids means those substances which are having the properties between the metals and non-metals. They have some properties of the metals and the other properties of non-metals. Like for example, the metalloids look like metals. Their appearance is like metals, but they are brittle. Their appearance is like metal, means they have a shiny surface. Appearance is like metals, but they are brittle like non-metals. Now the metalloids are neither the good conductor of electricity or heat, and neither they are the bad conductors of heat and electricity. They are semiconductors. They are known as semiconductors. Semiconductors means those substances whose conductivity is between the metals and non-metals. Now the examples of metals are iron, that is written as Fe, copper, aluminium, that is written as Al, and silver, that is written as Ag, then gold, that is written as Au, and non-metals are carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, etc. Now the metalloids are boron, silicon, germanium. Boron, silicon and germanium. They are the metalloids. So the metalloids are having the properties between the metals and non-metals. So in our today's video we read that all the matters that are around us, they are not pure. Some of the substances are pure, whereas the other are impure or the mixtures. And the pure substances can be classified into two types, that are elements and compounds. Similarly, the mixtures can also be classified into two types, that are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Now the elements can again be classified into three types, that are metals, non-metals and metalloids. So that's it students. We will cover our rest topics in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.